When it comes to working online, there's going to be other tools that you kind of have to catch up to because you have to really adjust to the part where you're not seeing your boss in person, they're not right there with you to teach you, to guide you, or to even collaborate with you in person. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is at the end of this video is to show you guys the top tools that you need if you're going to be working with foreigners or basically just working online. When it comes to having a physical job, there's already a bunch of tools that you have to learn to be able to work with your boss. What if your boss is a foreigner, someone you have never seen in person, someone you probably will never see in person? With all of the confusion with time zones, internet problems, all of that, how do you actually solve it? Well, make sure to stay until the end of this video for you guys to find out how to be able to smoothly work with bosses who are on the other side of the world. Now, if this is your guys' first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. Been working from home since I was 15 years old, and I now run an outsourcing company here in Cebu City. So if you guys want to learn more about how to work from home, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday. I already mentioned when you have a physical job, when you have like the quote-unquote normal job, there's always going to be tools that you have to learn to be able to work smoothly, to just be able to work at all. When it comes to working online, there's going to be other tools that you kind of have to catch up to because you have to really adjust to the part where, again, you're not seeing your boss in person, they're not right there with you to teach you, to guide you, or to even collaborate with you in person. So you have to have the tools that I'm going to be talking about today so you can have a better work relationship. And by the way, all of the apps that I'm going to be mentioning today are all free, so you don't have to pay anything to get yourself started. All of these are free apps that you can just sign up right now. And I'm going to make sure to put all of the links of those below so you guys can grab them even as you're going through this video. Now, the first tool that I highly recommend that you kind of just get to know or just have is called World Time Buddy. It's actually pretty simple and very straightforward. It's basically a time converter where it will show you, like versus your time, let's say you're from the Philippines like I am, then it will show you what time it would be for, let's say your client is from London, from Australia, from different parts of the world. You can easily see it through that time converter. So it's easy for you to set up meetings to make sure that you are setting meetings at the right time for them, not just for you. It's also a great tool if, let's say, you're meeting up with a bunch of people, with like a big number of people and there's like multiple time zones that you have to take into account. You can add as many time zones as you want. And they also have a mobile app. So if you're out and about and you just have to set up like a meeting with someone, you can easily just check it on your phone and then set up a calendar, invite that way. So it's a pretty cool tool, especially if you're going to be a virtual assistant where you're going to be setting up meetings for your boss. You're going to help them with their contacts. And if you guys want to know more about how to become a virtual assistant, you guys can check out this video right here. But basically, it's just a super handy tool for you, especially if you're working with a lot of team members from all over the world. The next tool that I highly recommend is called Calendly. Now, connecting with having a time converter, Calendly is basically an app where people can book meetings with you based on their time zone. So it's really easy for them. Let's say you have a possible client who is coming in who wants to set a meeting with you. You can just send them your Calendly link of what are the times that you're available. That way you don't overbook. This is something that eventually will happen to you is when you have multiple clients maybe, or when you're working with different people, when they set up meetings with you, it might overlap with someone else's meeting. So as much as possible, you want to avoid that. Calendly connects to your Google Calendar or any other calendar that you have so that you're able to, again, smoothly be able to have meetings with people without having that overbook or overlap. You can also choose to block things out. Let's say, your lunch break or when you want them to start booking, on what time you want them to stop booking. Like you're available from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. That's all the time that they're going to book you for. It really gives you that flexibility. Plus, again, if you're working with foreigners, you're working with clients who are on a different time zone, it'll be easy for them to coordinate with you with time rather than going back and forth through email of like, when are you free? When are you free? You're erasing that confusion. The next app that I really recommend that you guys probably have heard me recommend over and over again here is Canva. Now, Canva is basically a graphic design app that's super easy for you to use. It's also on your phone, but basically I recommend it as someone who works online because you can easily create your resumes. You can create your whole branding on Canva. You can create your own logos. Basically, as you're starting out as a freelancer, if you want to have all of these set already, you can do so all in Canva. And you guys can check out this video right here on how to set up your online branding. But basically with Canva, you can set up all of the usual graphics that are usually very confusing to do, or you have to pay someone to do it for you. Canva makes it really easy with a lot of the templates that they have. It really is just a really good platform to start off if you want to become a graphic artist. Now, if you are thinking more of becoming a graphic artist, you can check out this video right here because I will outline all of the different steps that you have to do to be able to become a freelance graphic artist. Now, the next two tools that I actually will recommend one after the other is WhatsApp and Zoom. Now, I'm recommending them the same because they're both communication tools. You might be thinking, oh, I'll just use, Facebook Messenger to talk to my clients. I'll use Google Hangouts to talk to my clients. But when you have WhatsApp, more and more clients are actually using WhatsApp just because of its security, the way that it's encrypted. Basically, no one else sees your messages, just the person who sent it and the person who receives it. So it's really secure. So more and more people are getting into it. Plus, it's available both on mobile, on desktop. And again, it's just easy to kind of go through communications that way. And I recommend Zoom for any video or voice calls that you do. Now, the reason why I highly recommend Zoom more than others is the recording function, is the fact that you can record any kind of videos that you do with different clients. If you're having like a big meeting where later on you're going to be creating meeting notes, having it where you can record stuff, you can write on stuff. Like if someone is sharing their screen, you can highlight things, you can circle things, like you can ask like, hey, what is this? Is super helpful, again, when you are communicating with someone across the sea. The next tool that I recommend if you're working with foreigners is a tool called Vidyard. Now, Vidyard is a screen recorder tool. That means that it will record your whole screen. It could be with audio, with your video, up to you. You can turn it both on and off. This is a Google Chrome extension where you just record, let's say you are having a bug problem or you're showing someone how something works, how to do step-by-step some sort of system or process that only you know. You use Vidyard to kind of record that whole thing, and then it turns it into a link. So you're kind of uploading a YouTube video in that sense, except it's from your screen grab, and then you're able to share that with different people. Now, the awesome thing about Vidyard is that it's so easy to use. And again, if you're just having problems that they don't see on the other side, like they don't see on their screen, you can just do a screen capture. You can just do a screen video of you say, hey, this is what I see. I don't know why you don't see this from my end. Am I doing something wrong? So it's easier for communicating with clients rather than saying, hey, I can't seem to see what you're seeing on your screen, or it doesn't seem like you can see the error on my screen. So it goes back and forth. So Vidyard is really useful as a tool in this case. The next tool that I recommend, it's called Asana. Now, Asana uses what's called a Kanban method, where you can move one task from, start to doing to done. It's easy for you to track where your tasks are at. It's easier for you to see if your task is moving at all, if it's waiting on someone, so you can customize it in different ways. But the reason why I recommend Asana on here is when you're working with your boss, you're working with, again, different people from all over the world, it's easy to see in one go, like what are the projects that are moving, what are the tasks that are moving, who's assigned to a task. Basically, it's easy for you to just see all of the mess in one organized place. You can easily see what's upcoming. You can put dates, you can put deadlines on the different tasks or projects that are happening. You can make it super detailed with a lot of the subtasks that they do. So I really recommend Asana. Again, it's just a place to get organized if it's really super messy and there's like a lot of moving parts to a business. Now, the next app that I use a lot myself, and this is more for records and note-taking and also a little bit of task management actually, is a tool called Notion. Now, I practically live in Notion nowadays. I have all of my tasks on there. I have all of my notes. Let's say I'm taking a course, let's say I'm studying something, or even like creating content, like planning out my content here for my YouTube, for my Instagram, for my Facebook. I plan it all inside of Notion. Now, the reason why I recommend it if you're working with foreigners is basically you guys can work on the same document at the same time. And also, kind of like Asana, you can create Kanban boards where you can track projects as they go. Although it's not as detailed as Asana, it's still a good way to get started if you're a smaller team. And also just for yourself, like for me, I was starting a company from scratch. I'll probably be using Notion a lot just to get myself organized, just to get a lot of customization that I usually won't get with other tools that I have. Plus, Notion is just really cool to customize and play around with. Now, the biggest tool that I highly recommend that you kind of just get to know or at least have is called Google Tools or G Suite. So basically Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms, all of that, everything inside of their ecosystem, you have to kind of know. Just like how if you had a physical job, one of the skills that people talk about is knowing how to use Microsoft Word. You basically have to know what G Suite is because that's kind of the basic tools that everyone needs to know when they're working from home. It's really cool because you can work at the same time with different people. You can easily sync your files across different platforms. Other people will be able to see it. So for example, let's say that you are working on an image or you're working on a certain project and you're uploading it. You don't have to email it one by one to each person. You just use Google Drive. That's another thing that's part of the Google tool system basically, or you can easily share files across to just a lot lot of different people. It's also secure. It's also something that you can easily share with other people who are even outside of work. And again, this is one of the basic tools that a lot of employers will expect you to know when you are working from home or you're just working for them. Because again, kind of like having Microsoft Word or having Sheets or having Excel, these are one of the basic tools that a lot of business owners use. And you guys can go to leeandlai.com/tools and you'll be able to see all of the tools that I use myself. But for all of the tools that I mentioned today, I'm going to link them all below so you guys can check it out. And if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button right there so more people will be able to see this video. And also let me know in the comments, what kind of tools do you use when it comes to working from home? That way you can share with other people who might be looking for the exact same tool that you're using right now. And if you guys still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. You guys can check out these other 2 videos right here to get yourself started on your digital career. Now I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!